Hello, it's Monday, October 23rd. The word for you today, we're continuing through our devotional. The next 3 days, we're going to be talking about armed for spiritual warfare. Well, what is spiritual warfare? Well, we know what warfare is. We're seeing that go on overseas and unfortunately a lot of other places. But spiritual warfare is battles going on in the spiritual realm that we cannot see. We live in a physical world that we can see and touch, but we also live in a spiritual world where we cannot see it or touch it with our physical eyes or touch it with our physical hands. But there's a battle going on anyway. And sometimes if we ignore that battle, it's to our detriment. So God has told us how to prepare ourselves and how to arm us to fight these spiritual battles. Ephesians chapter 6 is a great passage of Scripture to talk about spiritual warfare. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11. Paul says, "Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes." You know, this time of year, it's getting cooler. We'll have, then it warm up during the day, then get cool again at night. And so when you get up in the morning, you've got to kind of pay attention to the weather to see, okay, what's the day going to be like? As we get into winter and all, it's not good to wear long sleeve shirts and shorts in 20-degree weather. At least most people don't. But we have to know what the weather's like to know how to dress to protect our bodies and to keep us well. Well, God is using Paul to tell us how to dress, how to keep ourselves safe during spiritual warfare. Notice he says, put on. There's something we have to do to intentionally get dressed for spiritual warfare. And he's going to tell us in the next few verses what to put on and the role that it plays. For instance, our shirt protects that part of our body. Our shoes protect our feet. We wear a hat, it protects our head. There are certain parts of the spiritual armor that protect certain parts of our spiritual body. So put on the full armor of God. It doesn't do any good to put on parts of it, because if we leave some parts off, we're vulnerable. A catcher on a baseball team, if he puts on his shin guards and his chest protector and he's all set, but he doesn't have a mask on, he's in danger. If he puts a mask on but doesn't have the shin guards or the chest protector, he's vulnerable to getting hit. Well, same way spiritually, we're vulnerable to getting hit if we don't have all those pieces of armor on, and we have to intentionally put them on. It says, put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand. Notice he doesn't say so that you can beat them. He doesn't say so you can conquer. He says so you can stand. Sometimes just standing. It's not pretty, but you get through it. Sometimes that's good. We don't always have to be, the knight in shining armor and everything works out great. Sometimes we just have to get through it. So put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. We know we have an enemy. It's the devil. And he has a plan. He has a plan to come against us. And we need this armor to protect us. The helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the feet fitted for readiness, the shield of faith. All the different pieces are important to protect us against the schemes that the devil has. God has given us what we need to withstand the attacks of Satan. The question is, are we putting them on? In Alaska, there's the bull mooses. They get together, and in the fall is the breeding season. And during the fall breeding season, the big bull mooses get together and they fight. They come together and they clash. And the one that survives, sometimes it's not to the death, sometimes it's a broken antler. Well, a broken antler he's lost, because the one with the full antler comes and he'll just rip him up. But the battle isn't won so much right then. The battle is won during the spring and the summer. Because during the spring and summer, the bull mooses are going around and eating. And based upon what they eat, the nutrition that they gain helps their antlers to grow strong so they can withstand those battles, gives them energy in their body. And so the battle is really won in the spring and the summer when they're eating, because that's fueling and equipping their antlers and their strength. Well, it's the same way in a spiritual life. Our spiritual battles are won when everything's going well. Life is easy, and we're taking in Scripture, and we're getting closer to God. And we putting on the full armor of God. We're putting on each of those pieces. We're learning how to protect our thinking. We're learning how to protect our heart, making sure that our feet are going in the right places, making sure that our hands are useful and not doing bad things. We do those when there's not a big battle going on. And you know what? That prepares us for when the battle does happen, just like those bull mooses. God has given us what we need. Are you putting on every piece of your armor? I encourage you to turn to Ephesians chapter 6. Read that scripture passage and see if you're putting on each of those pieces. Have a good day.